Are you priding yourself in multitasking throughout your day? I know I used to do this, and I want to talk to you about it because it's costing you way more than what it needs to be. Hi, I'm Dr. Asha, and thank you so much for joining me today. You know what? Multitasking is one of those glamorous things that we think that if we can multitask, that means we're more productive, more efficient. But that is not the case. In fact, studies have shown that the more that we diversify our brain power and the energy and our focus is the less effective we are and the less productive we are. If you think about it, you know, whenever you switch gears from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, you are not only having to restart, it's kind of like restarting your car every time. Think about that. Every time you stop and restart the car, you're wasting fuel. We're wasting fuel. It burns glucose and oxygen and in the brain in order to restart every single time. So what we are doing is we are costing a lot. It's costing a lot for our well-being, our nervous system, and our brain power. The prefrontal cortex, which is right here in the front of the brain, is designed to help with focus and concentration. When it is challenged between two different things, it doesn't know what to do, so it kind of short circuits in a way. This is where, if you do that on a longer term basis, this is why we're all, very frazzled and very exhausted by the end of the day, because we are trying to switch gears too quickly from one task to another, and sometimes even trying to do multiple at the same time. You ever been on a Zoom call, checking your email at the same time, maybe drafting an email at the same time, maybe doing your laundry, whatever it may be? You're doing all these things at the same time, and you think that you're being more efficient, but it's actually wreaking havoc on your nervous system. Our nervous system gets conditioned to feel stressed out all the time. It gets conditioned to be on and on alert all the time. So we have our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which is part of our autonomic nervous system, that is way out of balance. So that means our body ends up being like it is under pressure the entire time. It has to be on. This is where a lot of people are having trouble with sleeping at nighttime. For example, this could be one of the issues, is that your brain is still on. You have trained your nervous system to be so efficient, quote unquote efficient, that you're actually feeling alert all the time. And what happens is there are actual chemicals that are released in the brain. For example, anytime that we're busy with something, anytime that we, read an email or do a task, our brain kind of gets a little burst of happiness. It is actually enjoying the fact that we've accomplished something. And it does feel good to accomplish things. But I will tell you, one of the things that could be draining your brain power right now and could be causing you to feel exhausted, overworked, almost at a burnout, is the fact that whenever you are doing this too much and giving it too much to do, you're actually not focusing and concentrating on anything completely. And the things that did not get accomplished are kind of like open tabs on your computer. So you've got all these tabs, you've got music playing on one of them, you can't even find where that is. And then you've got other tabs that are all open, and those are all unfinished tasks. And those unfinished tasks really start to eat away at your energy. Now, there are some ways that you can help regroup and redirect yourself. One thing is trying to block your time. Blocking your time into 15 to 20 minutes. My sweet spot is 20 minutes. I know some people do around 25 minutes or even 30 minutes, but 20 minutes for me is a sweet spot to where I sit down and I focus on what I'm doing. For example, I'm sitting here talking with you and I'm recording my video so I can communicate this with you. I have focused time, focused energy on what I'm talking about and what I'm doing right now. Nothing else, no other distractions, nothing else is going on. This helps me be more efficient. It actually gives my brain even more power and more focus to be able to communicate clearly and to be able to finish the task at hand. So that is one thing. The other thing is that when you're starting to experience, if you've been doing this for a while, it may be very difficult at first to switch that off. I want you to get into the habit whenever you're running up against something and you're not able to really focus. I want you to get up from your desk or stand up, walk outside, walk in nature, walk around, move your body. Moving your body is going to help do a physiological reset. You can do this by standing up and moving around. You can do this by taking deep breaths in and out, doing 3 to 5 deep breaths in and out at a very deep belly kind of breathing. to really help reset your nervous system. That is going to help you. It is a matter of retraining yourself on how to calmly and concisely accomplish the things that you want to do. I know that multitasking seems sexy and appealing, and it makes you feel like you're getting enough done, but I want you to evaluate this week. How accomplished do you feel at the end of the day? Is it worth the cost that you are actually paying through multitasking? And what I mean by cost is it's really wreaking havoc on your health. This is where people go closer into burnout. They go closer to getting brain fog, where they cannot focus. Their attention span gets less and less and less. The other thing that I would recommend that you do this week is turn off all the false emergency signals. And what I mean by that is every single time you get a ping on your phone, whether it's Slack, whether it's Signal, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's an email notification, whatever it is, that sends a little surge of adrenaline in your body that makes your brain think that it's an emergency and that you have to look at it and that it needs to be taken care of right now. I know that when I did this for myself, when I turned off majority of my notifications, okay, and most of the time whenever I'm working, I do have certain notifications in case my assistants need to get in touch with me. But other than that, I don't have a lot of extra notifications kind of pinging me all the time. When I started doing that, I noticed a world of difference. I could focus much better, be in the moment, be present with whomever I was, with, or whatever task I was doing. It made a world of difference. I would invite you to try that this week and see how that goes. Multitasking is something that we have gotten used to. We are treating our brains much like machinery, and we're just not machines. We're not built that way. Our brain is a beautiful part of our system and our nervous system, and we want to preserve it as long as we can. We want to utilize it for its creativity and its inspiration and its knowledge and its ability, but we don't want to overuse it to the point that we are actually misguiding and misusing and using up all of our energy before we get to use it at its optimal level. So I thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please send us an email. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much.